Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you two of my best tips for tomorrow's racing. Now before we get stuck into them, just want to go through a few things with you. First of all, if you haven't done so already, make sure you listen to the latest episode of the In the Saddle podcast. If you're aware of it, we had a 66-1 winning nap on the podcast last week as my fellow judge Paul Callahan was able to select Bore and Bill to win the Lanzarote hurdle at Kempton. Obviously that's been plugged quite a lot here on my YouTube channel, but we've gained quite a lot of new followers since that episode. So if you want to listen to it, we're previewing the weekend's action at Warwick and also as well Market Rasen. If you want to listen to it, just hit one of the links in the description box below. We've got all the major podcast platforms covered: iTunes, Spotify, Soundcloud, whichever one takes your fancy. Just hit one of those links in the description box below. So that's the In the Saddle promotion out the way. Also as well, I just want to talk about our Hong Kong results. If you were able to see the video I did with Shireen Wu on her YouTube channel, again I left a link to it in the description box below, and I did put it on my social media feed. So I hope some of you saw it, because it was another good day for us out in Hong Kong. If you did the each way multiple, if you put them in a treble or a lucky 15, if you did 3 or if you did 4 and you did them each way at least, you would have been quids in, as all of them made the frame. And in amongst those, we had a horse called Handsome Bobo, and at one point today he was as big as 10-1 with the UK bookmakers. I think his final SP for the UK anyway was around about 7-1. But I hope some of you took my advice and backed some of those tips, and it means that our Hong Kong form continues, and I will hopefully be doing another video with Shireen next week, so stay tuned for that. Also as well, just quickly reflect on our only selection here in the UK and in Ireland today. It did run in Ireland across the RSC. We put my nap up last night, and that was Enemy Public in the 320 at Naas for Jack Wildman and Gordon Elliott. Ran okay, you know, we advertised it as an each way selection with the 4 places at quarter the odds there at 9-2, and because it snuck in 4th place, we got the dirty each way, you know. So yeah, on the whole, yeah, nothing to really write home about, but it's not a loss making day. It was a profitable day, and hopefully we can go on to bigger and better things and find some winners for you tomorrow. Now, like I said, I've got 2 tips for tomorrow's racing, and I'm recording this video just before 3:45 on Wednesday afternoon. So these are the prices at the current time of recording, and I do understand that they can drift out or they might shorten, but unfortunately I can't make this video any later. So yeah, the 2 tips for tomorrow, we're going to be starting with my next best, which runs in the first race at Bangor-On-Dee in the 12:50. Now they could be having an inspection tomorrow. There's going to be some snow up in the north of England, so Bangor might be in jeopardy, but I think it probably will go ahead. Carrick would be the one I'd be slightly concerned about, even though it does look a cracking card, and it's a shame. But yeah, I didn't really look at Carrick, I only focused on Bangor and Fontwell. But yeah, Bangor-On-Dee in the 12:50 tomorrow. My first selection is going to be my next best, and it's a horse here called Snougar, which is currently available at 8-1, and I'm going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection. Now this horse is trained by Donald McCain, and one of his conditional jockeys, Theo Gillard, is booked for the ride. Claim and handy £7 off the horse's back. Now Snougar is now down to his last winning mark of 97, and that win when he won at 97 came at Wetherby in March 2020 of last year. That actually came in heavy ground over this trip, so that's definitely a major positive. He's been running okay on some of his recent starts. You know, he finished 4th at Carrick last time, over 2.5 miles, but it was probably just a little bit too far for him, and dropping back in trip I think is definitely going to suit. Also as well, the handicapper dropped him £2 for that run, which I thought was fairly generous. So I think there's a lot to like about our horse's chances tomorrow. There's a couple in here at the top of the betting that I would have ground concerns about, and also as well the likes of Miss Amelia hasn't been seen for a little while, and I think Snougar is down to a good mark now. Don McCain's stable have been in flying form since the start of the year. They've had 7 winners from the last 18 runners, so the yard are absolutely in flying form at the moment, and he does very well, McCain, as well at Bangor-On-Dee. It's one of his local tracks. So yeah, lots to like about this horse's chances tomorrow. Normally goes to the front as well, very handy horse, and those tactics can often be seen to good use at Bangor-On-Dee. So if he deploys those similar tactics, I think he's got a good chance tomorrow. and I can't see him being out of the frame. And I think at 8 to 1, that's a fair each way bet. So that's going to be my next best of the day. We then actually don't have to wait too long. Both our tips are in the early part of the day tomorrow for the nap. We go to Fontwell, down to the Sussex track there, the 1:30, and I'm going to be going with a horse here as my nap called Gustavian for Ben Godfrey claim in 7, and he's riding for Anthony Honeyball tomorrow. Now, you can currently back this horse at the time recording at 7 to 2, and I'm going to recommend a 1-point win bet. Now, this horse I thought ran a really good race last time out, despite it being a small field, when he finished second at Chepstow behind Graham McPherson's Exploiter. Now that Exploiter has subsequently boosted the form to a fair standard by finishing third in a Class 2 handicap at Chepstow in his last run, which came at the weekend, and that was a decent little race that was. So that's a nice form boost. Our selection, Gustavian, was only beaten a couple of lengths, so really on the bare form of it, he ran a good race, and this isn't a particularly strong race on paper. He is obviously going to be carrying one of the big weights in the field. You know, he's rated at 122, but this is a 0 to 120 on paper, Class 4, and with that £7 claim, Ben Godfrey's definitely going to be coming into play here with a winner, I think. And Gustavian, if you go back through some of his earlier form, he's got some good form next to his name, especially on heavy ground. And that race, I should have said at Chepstow last time, was over nearly 3 miles. This is down to 2 miles tomorrow. So obviously some people might think it's going to be on the short side, but there's soft ground at Fontwell currently at the moment, and I see it getting even more testing. There's going to be some rain around tonight into tomorrow, you know, in that part of the world. So it's going to be attritional stuff, and just the fact that we know he's got stamina and reserves, and also as well he can handle the ground no problem at all. I think he'd go very close in this race tomorrow, and I would be disappointed if he couldn't give us a winning nap there. So they're the 2 tips for tomorrow's racing. Quickly just recap them then. In the 12:50 at Bangor-On-Dee, Snougar is my next best of the day at 8 to 1, 0.5 each way bet. And then in the 1:30 at Fontwell, we go with Gustavian, 7 to 2, 1-point win bet. So they're the 2 tips for tomorrow's racing. If you're enjoying these videos, please remember to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe here to my YouTube channel at LuckyLoaders15. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do. That's the best place to do so on social media, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. And if you want to find out a little bit more about myself, my website address is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.